Chief Meteorologist Brad Panovich is signing on to his weather computer. Yep. We're going to talk that. We're going to talk about some of this warmer weather. We've been watching the Olympics as well, which is here on WCNC Charlotte, and so that's been a lot of fun. But, Brad, where do you want to go first? You want to talk about weather?
Yeah, let's talk about the weather because it's a really nice day out there now.
Totally nice, beautiful.
It was kind of rough this morning.
It
had
was.
Some clouds, some showers. That wasn't crazy rain, but the sun's out right now, and we're pushing 70 degrees for the second day in a row. So it's been pretty amazing to see 2 days in the 70s, especially after all the cold weather we've had. Right now in Charlotte, it's 69 degrees, 68 up in Concord, but the sun is out in almost all locations. I'll quickly show you our cameras here just so you can see what it looks like out there, because we're definitely starting to see a lot of sunshine breaking out across the area. That cold front kind of swept in from the north and west, and you could see basically from Monroe to Dallas to Kannapolis and Charlotte. We're kind of zoomed in on the Wells Fargo building there on our Mr. Sparky camera network. We've got full sunshine out there. Pretty nice afternoon and evening. Sunset, by the way, 6:02 tonight. We're continuing to get later and later sunsets. Now, with that cold front moving through, the winds have shifted to the west, northwest. They'll eventually swing around to the south tomorrow, but it's going to be much colder tonight. We barely got below 60 for a low this morning. That's what really shocked me, was how warm it was overnight. But tonight we're back to reality. Temperatures will be in the 40s and 30s in many locations, even some 20s up in the mountains. So certainly a cold stretch of weather tonight. But tomorrow, it's technically cooler, Jane, but this is kind of nice for this time of year. 61, we would take that any other day. But after 2 days near 70, it will technically be cooler. We really want some rain. We didn't get a lot today, and unfortunately, we're still in a moderate to severe drought. We'll get the drought monitor update tomorrow. I think we'll have a good idea on where we stand. But we're keeping an eye on the weekend for rain chances. You can see over the next couple of days, not much going on. So the end of the week is dry. But as we get close to the weekend, not so much Valentine's Day. So we've got plans to go out on Valentine's Day. I think you're going to be fine because it looks like the rain's going to hold off till overnight into Sunday morning. And you can see Sunday right now looks to be kind of, I would call it a washout, probably going to rain on and off most of the day. And it's all rain, by the way, even in the mountains and foothills. There's no wintry weather. I don't care what your app is telling you. It's not going to be wintry weather. This is going to be a cold rain with 40s and 50s, and that rain moves out by Monday. We actually should start to see some nicer weather. The amount of rain is going to really depend on the track of the low. As I mentioned, we could use a couple inches. If we look at our futurecast rainfall, it does look like maybe 1.5 inches to 2 inches could be doable. And this would be the perfect recipe to help out with the drought. Also, wash off all that salt residue that's out there on the roads, on your car, melt any more of these snow piles, which shockingly, there's still a bunch of snow piles everywhere. Disgusting, brown, blackish. It doesn't even look like snow anymore in some cases, but a lot of the parking lots have this. That's still out there, so this will help wash most of that away. So when we look at the weekend forecast, I know it's Wednesday, which is the perfect time to look towards the weekend. Valentine's Day is Saturday. Looks dry right now, 63, not bad. Sunday, good 80-90% chance of rain. Temperatures around 51. Monday, President's Day. Will be a long weekend for some folks. Should be pretty nice as well. And I'll give you a sneak peek of our Jerry Hunt Supercenter 7-day forecast. And I think you'll like this, Jane.
I do.
51 on Sunday is the coolest it gets. We're back in the 70s a week from today, and we'll go 10 days out. We might see mid-70s next Thursday, Friday. So this question I get all the time, are we done with the winter weather? We're not quite done. I mean, it's still early February. And I had to look back. Last February, we had 80 degrees twice early in the month. It was super warm. And guess what? By the 20th and 21st, we had snow. So not that I'm expecting it to happen again, but around here, you got to get to mid-March, really, before you can kind of completely write off the chance of wintry weather. And just because it's warm now doesn't mean we can't get cold. Remember, it was 79 on Christmas, and we had 70s on New Year's Day. And we ended up with 11 inches of snow at the end of January. So the current weather doesn't always dictate what the future weather is going to be. So we still got probably a good month of possible winter weather. I don't see any in the next 10 days. But if we can get to mid-March, like 17th, St. Patrick's Day, is kind of like that magic number date for me I look at. Get there about 90% of the time you're going to be safe from winter weather if you can get to that date.
Well, I didn't listen to Punxsutawney Phil.
Oh,
Forget him.
Ground rat. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Exactly.
Come on.
Come on.
I mean, you think the app's bad? Listen to that groundhog.
Yesterday was amazing. I definitely
Yeah.
took advantage of that gorgeous
Oh.
outing. And it's been so long. It's
Yeah.
almost like
Well, it felt
gotta
like,
get out.
It felt like it was 80, compared.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing.
Compared.
And I know a lot of folks, you're a big warm weather fan. A lot of folks don't like winter weather. But I kind of appreciate a little cold snap.
Sure.
Because it makes you appreciate the warm weather that much more. And it really, I kind of, like yesterday was amazing. It felt so much better because we went through that cold
Yeah.
snap. If you get that all the time, it just becomes, it's just another 70-degree day.
Another beautiful day.
Yeah, so I think like the appreciation for the
There
warm
we go.
days come in. And it is nice that we're turning that corner because,
Yeah.
this winter has been all over the place. So like I said, we had warm and cold, but that was a long stretch of cold weather for us. Typically, our cold snaps don't last 2 weeks. It's usually like a day or two, then it warms up.
Right.
So it was long, and we had 2 winter storms in back-to-back weekends. So that doesn't happen very often. Yeah, where it's like, okay, we got one winter storm, you're like, all right, we're done. Nope, we got another one.
Yeah.
And then it stayed cold for another week. So the longevity of the cold and snow was something that was not very typical for us around here.
Washed the car a couple days ago, just thinking, oh my gosh, if I can get 3 or 4 days out of
Yes.
this would be amazing.
Yeah, and it was kind of gross. I mean, when you get all that salt residue, and I don't even know where this dirt comes from when you get snow. But
Yeah.
like, my driveway.
My
It
driveway.
was just like this. I had to power wash last week, so I'm like, I had to get this stuff
wow.
off my driveway because it was just gross. So yeah, the car washes have been super busy. That's a good
Yes.
business to be in right now because
For sure. They need to make up for some lost time there
yeah.
past couple of weeks.
absolutely.
It has been great though with this weather because staying inside, watching the Olympics, watching
I've watched
the
so
Super
much
Bowl.
Olympics.
Did you have a favorite
I love it
event?
all.
I
I-
do too. My husband's obsessed every 4 years.
I don't know what it is. I heard someone else talking about this today. It's so weird. There's events you've never watched in your life, but
Yeah.
somehow you get invested in. Like,
Totally.
And it just always draws me in, even when you think I'm not into this, and then you turn it on. You're like, I am just glued to this TV. I
yeah.
love flipping around. I love having Peacock and going to all the different
Having
events.
a quad box in
Yes,
there.
the Gold Zone. Oh my gosh,
Gold
it's
Zone.
unbelievable. But I love it all. I love the stories because I think
The stories are what
know,
makes me pay attention.
it's amazing. It's like you think about this is not a full-time job for some of these people. It's like you don't go rich figure skating, right?
No.
Unless you're like really big name and have endorsements, or some of the curling. This is like a side job for
Right.
like. And so the fact that they're this well trained and they have other things they do, it is pretty amazing.
It is.
And,
It is amazing. Mixed curling is a big thing in
Oh,
my household right now.
curling is awesome.
With Team Corey and Corey
Yes.
and beating Italy with that last move. Oh my goodness!
It's amazing how curling that no one's ever seen it before, and they watch it and it draws them in because I think
does.
it's one of those things where like you feel like too like I
can do that,
Yeah,
for
it's like,
sure.
It's like something
Hold
I could have a drink in. And
A
go
beer
do.
in one
Yeah,
hand
it's like-
and then the hammer in the other.
It's just winter cornhole, right? I mean,
It is.
It's like,
It's
what's
winter
going on
cornhole.
here?
It's exactly what I feel like. The other day, I also talked to here on the stream Ashley Farquharson. I butchered her name on the stream earlier, and I'm sorry I did because she won bronze.
Oh, awesome.
In women's luge.
Oh, luge is amazing.
I mean, they go so fast and hold that position, and
Yeah.
so she took home a medal for Team USA. So how cool is that?
Luge
And
is awesome.
that is awesome.
I was in Utah in December. We went to the Utah Olympic Center. We got to see the luge and bobsled run, and it was just really cool to see the sleds up close too, to see like how small they actually are and how they fit
to
on
put
there.
their body on that.
And a cool
hold
thing,
on.
if you ever go out there, it's not an endorsement, but you can pay like $200 to actually go on the bobsled run out there.
What?
With a driver. It's
Oh,
like
okay.
crazy. If you want the bobsled experience, they let you do it out there. And my wife wanted to do it.
Are you gonna
really
do
bad.
it?
I was like, no.
No.
We did the simulator, which was way cooler. But it's a really cool thing if you go out to like any of the Olympic venues. They still have them all in Park City, Utah. And,
Oh, that's
And they're going to
cool.
be back there in 2034,
Yeah,
I think.
yeah.
So yeah, it was really cool to see that. And so that got my kids excited for the Winter Olympics, being out there and seeing all that.
Oh, for sure. Jeb, you have a favorite event?
Snowboard slope style. Red
So-
Gerard's my guy.
Snow. I was watching ski
Yep.
slope style.
They were
Slope
great.
style.
The skiers are
Alex
great on
Hall.
it. I think it's crazy.
Yeah.
The rails are amazing.
A
I'm
rail.
like,
The
They
name
make
is
it
the
look so easy
rail.
to give me every single time.
And it's like, how'd you
rails
miss
are
that
tough
rail?
in skis because I'm back
Yeah.
when I first got into skiing and we would take our freestyle skis into the park. You'd be with the snowboarders, and it's hard to get on those rails or any of the tabletops with skis. It's just
yeah.
not the same.
Yes.
Right.
Well, and it's the way they go from, and especially in the skis, one to the other.
Oh.
They make
Right.
it's like guaranteed. Like they make it every single time. I'm like,
Yeah.
that is
Yeah.
way harder
And the
than it
backward
looks.
skiing backwards
Going
on jumps
forever.
I'm like, that's
And taking
And
the
then
big jumps
changing the
backwards, so, like,
rotation
go
and the
all
other
way
way.
down.
Yeah.
Oh
I know.
my gosh.
Now I do have issue. Actually, my husband and I both have issue with because you get the rails first.
Yeah.
And if you blow a
It's over.
rail,
Yeah,
Don't
I
need-
thought that first rail was
don't need
the
to do anything
hardest
else.
one too. So
Yeah.
it was like do or die right off the bat.
Right.
I think they should save that farther down.
right, and each part. I mean, they have 3 sections of the rails.
Yeah.
3 sections of the ramps, and if
Right.
you mess up a rail, you should still. I thought they judged it per section.
Yeah.
But,
Oh, interesting.
But it's the whole program
Right.
Yep.
within. I know it's all the sections, but within the program. So I mean, yeah, if you mess up the second rail, then
Yeah,
it's
like you just give
oh,
up. You're
let
like,
me
oh.
just.
Especially if you had a higher, you have 3 runs, they pick the best one. You're like, you know,
Right.
if you have a better run, you're like, all right, just done.
Yeah.
That's why you see weird scores in the first run. Someone has like an 80 and someone has like a 1.5. You know,
Right,
how does that
exactly.
happen? Because they just bailed. They,
They
just
just-
gave
yeah,
up. And like, all
exactly.
right, I'll do it
Scrap.
on the next
Risk
run.
it.
They
I
get a
know.
redo basically.
Interesting.
So.
I'm waiting for half pipe, snowboard half pipe. That's
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
dream event.
I love snowboard. I got to talk to Hannah Teeter when I was out in Tahoe.
That's cool. That's really
and,
cool.
I got to ski with her a little bit, which was cool. She was
Cool.
a silver Olympian, and she did freestyle. So she was really cool. Her boyfriend was great. He was a big snowboarder as well, and could not have been more gracious. She lives at Sierra Tahoe, and
Nice.
just nice as could be. And I love talking to her because she's like, you know, she's like not old, but she's 36 now, and she's kind of
Love it.
retired from doing Olympic. But she's like, I'm going to snowboard the rest of my life. She just loves it, and is like a big ambassador for it. So I think it's really cool. And she's a big proponent of people doing skiing and snowboard for the rest of their life, making
Together.
it something they love to do. You don't have to jump, right? You, know,
Right,
you get
right.
older,
You
it's
can
like,
just- you
I
can
was
just.
like, I don't know if my knees can
Yeah.
handle
I
it.
know.
No.
I'm 24.
I used
Oh,
to do crazy stuff on my skis, and I'm like, I'm not doing that stuff
You can
anymore.
just, yeah, I can just
I stay away
coast
from
down.
the rocks and trees a lot more than I used to.
You know, sometimes you just got to be extra careful.
The other cool thing is like, and I'm blown away, and as somebody who has a drone, I love the drone footage of these events.
Love the
crazy.
drone
the FPV
footage.
drones like are unbelievable. Even my son is like, Dad, this looks like a video game. I'm
Yeah,
like, it's
seriously,
like-
that's what I said too.
but it's so cool, and the views you get from that are
Yeah.
unbelievable. I think that is such a cool technology, and I'm
Right.
actually really impressed with the
That is
pilots.
impressive.
Because they got the VR goggles on, and they're flying right behind them, and you know the downhill, they're going 70, 80 miles
Right.
per hour, and
And they
so. I love that view,
got
and
'em
I'm also
clocked.
impressed with the pilot. I wish we could talk to some of the pilots.
That
in
would
these
be a
That's the
good
interview I'd wanna
story.
hear.
like, who
That's a
are
good
these people?
behind the
Are they
scenes
drone
story.
racers? Because that's a skill set that is
For
really hard to
sure.
have.
Yeah, they've had to practice that course.
Yeah.
I mean, but yeah, watching that downhill and oh gosh,
And even indoor, they had the drones in the luge behind
Yes,
them.
how do
and
you
like
even
it's
do that?
amazing.
these tiny drones, and then they're inside on the speed skating. They're behind them. I'm like, they have them
Yes.
inside too. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, no, that work is just as
I
impressive.
love that technology. It just makes the experience so much better.
Oh, all right. I don't even know what tonight's events are. I'm just watching every.
I was watching figure skating in there.
I was watching figure
It was
skating.
the dance,
Ice
rhythm.
dance,
the
yeah.
ice pair.
Man,
They're
the
all
other thing I
good.
noticed is like there's the athleticism of these
Oh,
figure
yeah.
skaters has gotten so much better over the years. It's like unbelievable how talented they are.
Yeah, and Ilya
he did a
Millian
flip.
throwing flips, but you don't get any points for flips.
I know he just does it for
just
the
No,
do
he
it.
knew what he was doing. That was
I am
all
like-
cloud points. The
Does it
brownie
because he
points
can.
are- right.
Exactly.
Well, everybody knows who he is. He's probably, honestly, he got to be the star of the Olympics right now. So
Yeah,
Right.
'cause I feel like I'm
everybody
seeing
knows who he
everywhere.
is.
Oh
He's
yeah,
just-
you recognize that hair.
and he is one of the people because I saw a cool stat like they had the top 10 highest paid Olympians that were actually making money, and he was in the top 10.
Gotta
that
be.
makes
Lindsey
sense.
Vaughn was in there
Lindsey
because
Vaughn's
of all
gotta
her
be one.
endorsements, and there's some hockey player obviously because he's a professional.
Right, at that point.
Made like 20 million or whatever. But I'm trying. There was somebody from China. It was maybe a snowboarder who was the highest paid.
Oh really?
So it's yeah.
Yeah, they can make money.
Yeah.
They can make some money. I'm waiting for. Did you see the Netflix documentary on the snowboarder from Australia?
No.
Something James.
Oh, I gotta see
His
that.
story was really great, and so I said, if I'm going to root for anybody outside of Team USA,
Right, the
it's
ones-
going to be for this guy
that always
because he
makes it a
seemed like a
little
really
easier.
good guy, a likable guy, and he's a snowboarder and he does all these tricks. And he and Shaun White are buds.
That's
So
cool.
I,
are friendly.
someone else I want to see is Chloe Kim, right?
No,
Oh,
that's,
she's amazing.
That's my
So-
doppelganger
and that's-
in my fantasy world of snowboard
I can't wait to
half
watch
pipe.
her, and that's Miles Garrett's.
I was going to say a little Browns connection there, which I learned
he's,
today. Which
I
I'm
think
like,
he's
oh,
over
cool.
there, right? Yeah, I think he's over there.
Yeah,
so.
he just got there. He was at her
That's
event
such a
today.
weird couple because he's this massive human.
Right,
She's
she's
Yeah,
just
it's
like,
a little
what?
tiny thing.
Oh man, but he has been a great support. He's gone overseas to follow her all over the place.
No, he's
so
like the number. Like
he loves it. Yeah,
That's
so
so cool.
that's
Which is
kind of cool
awesome.
to see Miles Garrett over there hanging out with her. So.
Yeah.
All right. Well, more to come with the Olympics. So fun to watch and be part of here on WCNC Charlotte. So we're happy for the medals that we've gotten so far.
Yep.
And Brad, we'll see you at 5
Yep,
on
see you at 5.
WCNC Charlotte. Thank you.